Yes, sir. What's your name?
Hello. My name is Dominic. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Dominic.
Okay, so my first question is, earlier you mentioned that people often lie to make themselves look good.
Yeah.
Am I right? Alright, so that. Okay, so my question is, what has it ever occurred to you that possibly maybe the writers, the creators of the Bible possibly lied in reference for power?
Well, you could. That's a good question. You could surmise that. The problem is they didn't get any power. What they got was abuse.
Okay, well, whatever reason they did it for, how do you prove that their so-called testimony is actually tangible truth?
Well, you have to see what they did as a result of what they said occurred. And
Okay, so here's my point, because my name actually isn't Dominic, okay? My name is actually Tommy. So, the point I'm making here is because, like, in our consciousness, like, if I would have never told you what my real name was, you would have went here, and everybody in this room would have went their entire life thinking that my name was Dominic. Whether or not that may not have been a big deal or not, that's just the point I'm trying to make. Like, people can say things, but that doesn't always mean it's true, and there's no absolute tangible evidence to any of your ideas whatsoever. And every single one of your testimonies is coming out of somebody's mouth from something that none of us have ever observed before. It's just passed down oral tradition. So I don't see how that can last over thousands of years in a very correct form.
all right. Well, that's an opinion you have there, Tommy. But you have just dispensed with every history department in America by saying that. You realize that?
Okay, can you elaborate, please?
Well, if you're saying we can't know history because it happened hundreds or thousands of years ago, then there should be no history department at any major university because that's what they do.
I agree.
Okay. Well, if that's
Well, I'm saying you're trying to make a profit or force your ideologies on people upon people's testimony, and I don't think that's true, and I don't think that's right either.
all right. Well, forgive me for saying this, Tommy Dominic, but you're trying to impose your ideology on me right now. That's what you're doing.
I'm trying to question your ideology.
Okay, well that's fine. That's what a university is supposed to do. We're supposed to question different ideas, right? But the scholars who study this material know that you can know things about history because there's testimony there. Now, you may not think their testimony is true, but you have to have a reason to doubt it.
Okay.
And let me finish the point. I don't see any reason to doubt their testimony, especially since they went and died for it. You see, in order to have a conspiracy, in fact, there's a friend of mine. He is a cold case homicide detective. His name is J. Warner Wallace, and we've been together several times. He's helped me teach some courses. He just solved a cold case homicide from California. It just the verdict came down about a month ago. He beat Robert Shapiro, the OJ attorney. He figured out who killed a woman 35 years ago. And it's going to be on Dateline next month, so look out for Dateline. J. Warner Wallace, you'll see this guy. Anyway, J. Warner Wallace investigates history, and he investigates the evidence for certain crimes or certain events that occur in history. And he points out that in order to have a conspiracy, you have to have several criteria, none of which occur for the New Testament. In other words, you've got to have people who have good communication between one another. The New Testament writers didn't. You have to have people who have a motive to lie. They had no motive to lie.
Why do you say that they had no motive to lie?
What did they get by saying it was true?
We don't know. We were not there. So how do you know what they got?
You look at historical testimony.
So you're saying that everything that they said was historical and concrete and fundamental is definitely true?
Oh, I don't know if everything
Well,
they
that's
said
what
was...
it sounds like this entire thing is. It sounds like you're trying to push this
Tommy.
that you don't know upon people.
Tommy, everybody has to evaluate the evidence and make a decision for themselves as to whether or not what they said is true. I've given evidence that I think what they said is true. There's good reason to believe it. Am I absolutely sure? No, I could be wrong. Okay? But do you believe, say, George Washington existed?
I mean, from what people say, possibly, yeah.
Okay.